School started in Round Rock, and honestly, your dog probably figured it out before you did. Not from a calendar, not from a school supply list, just from the sudden, complete silence in a house that was noisy for 3 months straight. So today, I want to talk about what actually happens to a family dog in the middle of August. Why this stretch of the year produces more chewed baseboards and more 3 in the morning pacing than almost any other time, and what you can realistically do about it in the first 2 weeks. Let's start with what changed at your house, because I think most people underestimate it. Over the summer, your dog got contact in tiny doses all day long. A kid walked past on the way to the fridge. Somebody opened the back door. The TV came on. A snack hit the floor, which, let's be honest, is a highlight of any dog's day. None of that is structured exercise. Nobody's calling that a workout. But it's steady, low-level stimulation spread across 12 hours, and your dog built their entire day around it. Then school starts, and that goes to 0. 6 to 9 hours, 5 days a week of absolutely nothing. Here's the thing people miss. It isn't only about loneliness. It's the loss of every small event that used to break the day into pieces. Dogs don't experience 8 hours as one long block the way we might. They experience it as a series of things that happen. Take away the things, and what's left is just time, a lot of it. And dogs track routine, not calendars. Your dog has no idea Round Rock ISD went back into session. They just know the pattern broke overnight. Let me walk you through what a weekday looks like now, compared to July, because the shape of it really matters. 7 to 9 in the morning. In July, that was a slow wake-up with kids drifting around. Now it's rushed and loud, everybody's yelling about a backpack, and then nothing. Door closes. Silence. That whiplash from chaos to empty is genuinely hard on a dog. My suggestion? Move your main walk to before the bus, not after work. Start the day tired instead of wound up. 9 to 3. In July, somebody was home on and off. Now nothing, no input at all. This is the block that does the damage, and it's the one worth actually solving: daycare, a midday visit, some real enrichment. 3 to 6. Used to be backyard time. Now it's homework, activities, driving somebody to practice. And I'll say this because it's true. 10 focused minutes with your dog beats an hour of having them in the room while you ignore them. Dogs know the difference. Then evening. In July, everybody was spread out and relaxed. Now everybody's fried. That's the moment to give your dog a bedtime routine that's actually consistent, because predictability is doing a lot of quiet work here. Okay, so how do you know if this transition is going badly? There are a handful of signs, and I'd like you to hold them loosely, because any one of them on its own might mean nothing at all. Chewing. Furniture, shoes, door frames, things that were completely safe all summer and are suddenly not. Barking or howling during school hours. You usually find out about this one from a neighbor, which is its own kind of awkward. Accidents indoors from a dog who was rock solid on house training. Pacing, panting, or following you room to room in the 20 minutes before you leave. That's anticipatory stress, and it's one of the clearer tells. Skipping breakfast entirely, then eating everything in sight at night. And frantic greetings, the kind where it takes 5 full minutes for your dog to settle after you walk in. One of those, probably fine. Dogs have off weeks like anybody, but 3 or more of them in the same week usually means your dog is carrying more stress than the household has noticed. Now, here's where I want to push back on the instinctive response, gently. What most of us do is come home feeling guilty and pour affection on the dog all evening. Extra cuddles, extra treats, big emotional reunion. And look, that's a lovely thing to do, and I'm not telling you to stop loving your dog. But be honest about who that's for. That mostly makes us feel better. What actually changes behavior is output during the hours the house is empty, followed by a pattern the dog can learn and predict. Structure beats sympathy. A dog who spent Tuesday running around with other dogs is not spending Tuesday night hunting for something to destroy. They're asleep. Deeply, comprehensively asleep. And for most families, 2 or 3 days a week of supervised play, while everybody's at work and school, is enough to reset the entire week. You don't need to fill every weekday. In fact, filling every weekday is usually the wrong call. Dogs need downtime too, and there's real value in a quiet day that follows a busy one. Now, the plan should fit the dog in front of you, so let me break that down a bit. If you've got a puppy, this is the group I worry about most. A puppy who spent the summer surrounded by kids and then gets dropped into 6 hours of silence is being asked to hold a bladder and hold a brain still for far, far too long. That's not a training problem, that's an unfair ask. Short, structured days in a group built around younger dogs handle the physical side and the social side at the same time. And I'd stress this. August is the window where house training either holds or falls apart. Lose it now, and you're retraining in October, which nobody enjoys. Senior dogs are a different picture. Older dogs often handle the quiet just fine. The silence doesn't bother them much. What they handle badly is the schedule change itself. Stiffness gets worse. Sleep gets disrupted. You'll see that late afternoon confusion creep in when the daily rhythm shifts under them. An 11-year-old dog usually needs a slower option with actual rest built into the day, and staff who are watching for soreness, not a full-throttle playgroup. And then there's the third category, which honestly might be most of you listening. The dog who is simply too much at 6 in the evening. The one who cannot stop moving while you're trying to get through homework and dinner and everything else. Here's the thing, that energy came from somewhere. It came from a day with nothing in it. It's not misbehavior, it's a backlog. So let me give you 4 things you can do at home this week that cost nothing. 1. Move the main walk to before the school run. Same walk, different time, completely different day for your dog. 2. Feed breakfast out of a puzzle feeder or a frozen stuffed toy. That gives the first hour alone an actual job in it instead of a bowl that's empty in 90 seconds. 3. Make departures boring. No long goodbyes, no big emotional build-up at the door. I know it feels cold. It's kinder than it feels because the build-up is what teaches your dog that you're leaving is a big deal. 4. Leave background noise on. A talk radio station works beautifully because it covers the neighborhood sounds that set off barking in the first place. And then give it about 2 weeks before you judge whether it's working. Dogs adjust to new patterns faster than most owners expect, but not in 3 days. 3 days is just confusion. If you want help working out what your week should actually look like, that's what we're here for. We're at Daycare Round Rock, over in Springbrook Business Park, which puts us on the way to work for a lot of families around Round Rock, Pflugerville, Hutto, and Georgetown, and it's an easy reach for the North Austin commute. Most of our school year regulars are 2-day and 3-day dogs, not 5-day dogs. New dogs start with a temperament check and a short trial session, so we can see how your dog handles a group before anyone commits to anything. If the fit's wrong, we'd much rather find that out in an hour than on day 1 of a busy week. Give us a call at 737-201-1569. Tell us about your dog and what your schedule looks like, and we'll tell you honestly what a realistic week looks like. No pressure either way. Take care of your dog this month. They're adjusting too.